what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I got a question about scheduling interviews while working full-time. I'm gonna try to answer this. I'm very tired today. I just ran my 10-mile run today, fasted, and then I'm not eating. I'm actually fasting the entire day today for a couple of reasons. One, because I'm experimenting. I want to see if it's more effective to actually, instead of doing the low carb days in the new program I'm putting together, if it's more effective to actually do a full fast, even though it's quite painful, because I'm looking for the best possible result. And I'm also making up for lost time, of course, with my trip to China and me making a little bit of backwards progress. And I really want to get that program out. So guinea pigging it, right? That's what you do, is you test it. So anyway, this question is from William, and he says, hey John, it's me again. I bought your book Soft Skills, you can check it out here, and it's simply a goldmine of software developer wisdom. Cool, appreciate that. I think any dev can benefit from buying this book. It's inspired me to keep building on my professional dreams after work and on the weekends. I'm updating my resume as we speak. Cool, awesome. If I may ask a question though, how can I effectively schedule interviews while working full-time? I'm a recent grad currently interning as a front-end developer and wish to interview at other places before the position ends around August. Obviously, it'll be unpaid time off, which I'm fine with for interviews, but how would you go about requesting time off? Do I ever tell them I'm going for an interview? I don't want to lie because it's an internship and they know the chance of me leaving afterwards is very possible. Surely they can understand me preparing for that possibility in advance, right? Any drops from your ocean of wisdom is highly valuable and appreciated. Thanks for everything, John. So, William, I'll have to say here, I'm going to give advice for you because you're in an internship, and then I'm going to give some general advice as well. So, as an intern, having an internship ending in August, I really don't see any disadvantage to letting them know that you have an interview. And you know, in the way that I would approach it is I would make it into a positive thing. I would talk to my boss or whoever, you know, or the other developers, whoever you need to report to, and I'd say, hey, you know, I'm wondering, could you give me, I'm trying to prepare for an interview. I've got an interview on Thursday with this really good company, and I'm wondering if you could give me some tips or some help to prepare for it, just any ideas or anything, encouragement you could give me to help me do better on it. And what this will do is it'll put some skin in the game for them. So even if there was going to be a problem, when you approach it that way, now all of a sudden you're asking for their wisdom and their advice, and that is going to make it less likely to be a problem. Now, probably there's not going to be a problem anyway, but you know, this is a good way to do that, and then to have someone rooting for you. And it's going to ensure, like, if you do that for your first interview, it's going to ensure that if you have like 5 more, that it's going to be easier for you to request the time to go. So that's what I would do. I don't see that as a disadvantage. And because it's an internship, I think the other interesting thing here is that it may make it more likely that they're going to hire you after the internship. So you may get an offer from the company that you're currently with. So there's no reason to not spur a little bit of healthy competition. If you're doing a good job there and they think you might be leaving and they see that you're taking interviews, that could be a good thing for you, right? So I don't see anything bad or wrong with that. Now, in general, if you weren't in an internship, and for those of you that are wondering about this, right, you know, I remember going for job interviews and it'd be like, oh, I got a dentist appointment today. Yeah, I always wear a suit to my dentist appointment, right? You see those guys, right, and you know that they've got a job interview, right? So, but there's a couple things I would say. I mean, obviously you can't, like in a regular job, tell your boss, hey, I got a job interview, so I'm going to go for it. You can take this day off. I mean, I guess if you're really ballsy and really confident, you could maybe do that, but probably a bad move in most situations, even if you are cocky as hell. But what I would suggest is that, first of all, interviews usually don't take all day. Now, if they do, that's a different story. But if you just have like a couple-hour interview, just just say, hey, I got to run a personal errand today. I'm going to be gone from like 11 to 3 probably this afternoon, but I'll come back and I'll make up the time, or I'll come in early. Is that cool, right? I would assume permission and then just, check, right? That's a better approach than trying to explain what's going on, right? It's not lying, right? If you get asked, well, what is your personal errand that you have to run, then that's kind of weird. I don't think anyone's going to ask you that. I suppose at that point you've got a bit of a dilemma. I mean, you could say, well, it's to be honest with you, it is a job interview. That's probably a bad move. You could just say, it's personal. And I think that's fair. I think that's not lying. And if someone probes after that, you then just tell them, fuck you, I've got a job interview. Because you don't care about that job anyway, because you don't want to work for such an asshole as that. So anyway, I think that's going to solve most of the case. Now, if you're going to be gone all day, just take time out. Just say, hey, again, I got to take some time for personal, But in most cases, I think when I interviewed at jobs, when I was working at a job, I just disappeared for a couple hours. I said where I was going. A lot of jobs I've had, they don't care where you're going. I've worked for companies where, in the position where I was at, it's, people are gone. You come back, you're expected to do your job. Now, if you've got more of a, check-in, check-out type of responsibility type of job, then it's a little different. Then, I would say, this is where I'm going from this time, or, can I come in, or I'm coming in a little bit earlier or come in later. Just assume permission and, do it in a nonchalant way. That's not going to make it a big deal, and you should be fine. And if you've got a whole bunch of interviews, it could be tricky. It'd be best to schedule them, like to think about it if you can. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. So anyway, I hope that helps. If you've got some ideas, how you've handled this before, whatever, maybe you get your suit on and you say you got to go to a funeral or whatever kind of crazy thing you come up with. Leave a comment below. If you haven't checked it out already, check out the Patreon campaign. We've got Facebook group, just a lot of really good discussions going on there for career advice, help, and a lot of bonuses and stuff for the channel. Anyway, but I don't want to plug that too much. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you would like to, go ahead. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Take care.